Finance Minister blames Naira's dive on overdue payments. 78 Onga NNPC Limited signs up to United Nations Global Compact. Infrastructure Bank commits 13 billion naira to cushion subsidy removal. Oil prices rise as supply concerns outweigh demand fears. Plus, Asia markets slide ahead of Bank of Japan rate decision. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I was Bakar, your guide. And now let's begin by telling you that Dr. Olayemi Michael Cardoso, recently nominated by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has on Friday, September 22nd, 2023, formally assumed duty in an acting capacity as the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, pending his confirmation by the Senate. A statement by Director Corporate Communications Department, Isa Abdul Mumin, says this follows the resignation of Mr. Godwin Emefiele as governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The deputy governors designate have also assumed duty in acting capacities, sequel to the former resignation of Mr. Folashodun Shoribi, Mrs. Aisha Ahmed, Mr. Edward Lamtek Adamu, and Dr. Kingsley Obiora as deputy governors of the CBN. Dr. Cardoso and his colleagues subscribed to the relevant oaths of office at a brief ceremony held at the bank's head office in Abuja on Friday, September 2023, and have since settled down to the task of administering monetary and financial sector policies of the federal government. Now, currency in circulation in Nigeria jumped by 1.7 trillion naira as cash transactions increased. Figures obtained by from the Central Bank of Nigeria's data revealed that the currency in circulation hit 2.7 trillion naira as at the end of August. The currency in circulation fell to 982.1 billion naira as of the end of February 2023 due to the naira redesign policy of the Apex Bank. It, however, maintained a steady rise when the policy ended and cash earlier withdrawn from circulation in order to drive e-payments was returned back into the economy. Now, the Infrastructure Bank says it will be providing finance to help alleviate the effects of the fuel subsidy removal. The bank has earmarked 13 billion naira for this purpose and will be using the funds to develop transportation systems and road infrastructure. A statement issued by the Federal Ministry of Finance said the acting Managing Director Nkiru Chime and an Executive Director Andrew Weke stated this when they visited the ministry. Also, the bank has concessions with 8 states and has previously provided interventions in the provision of mass transit, road and rail construction in some parts of the country. Now, Finance Minister Adebayo Olawole Edun says up to $6.8 billion of overdue forward payments in the foreign exchange market need to be addressed before the naira stabilizes. The currency of Africa's largest economy extended a months-long slide and hurtled toward the 1,000 naira per dollar mark in street trading on Thursday as the central bank held back from supplying dollars to a panic-stricken market. Now, how much is the naira exchanging for other currencies? Let's find out. Well, the federal government has mandated the training for millions of citizens, especially youths, in digital skills within the next 2 to 3 years. Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, announced this during the sidelines of the ongoing 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly, the SDG Media Zone. Speaking on the topic, how to promote poverty eradication in developing countries, he emphasized the importance of harnessing the power of digital technology to increase productivity. He noted that there is need to leverage on the use of technology to address so many issues, and the government is focusing on critical sectors, especially agriculture. And now to our discussion of the day on the program. Today we will be taking a look at opportunities, challenges, and way forward in bridging digital skills divide in Nigeria and the continent. And to break this down for us is an IT and cybersecurity expert. Is also the executive director, HTC Academy, Hanil Hamisu Jafaru. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, talking about digital divide, what is actually the divide? How wide is the divide?
Well, it's broad enough to accommodate everyone in the industry. So when we talk about digital skill, it's largely making sure that the citizens are able to access digital services, but beyond just accessing digital services, that they can engage in this digital age. So as far as digital skill is concerned, it can be probably classified and categorized into 3 different aspects. We have the digital enablers, we have the digital users, and the digital transformers. So the digital enablers are those who make this technology available. The digital users are those who are engaging this technology, who are making use of this technology day in, day out. Then the digital transformers are the government, who are the regulators, and also the trainers, those who build the digital skill in the citizenry. So the ability for us to be able to engage the skill and at this digital age is all about the digital skill.
Okay, talking about, you just give me a picture of the industry itself. Now, let's talk about now the wide. We're talking about bridging the wideness now. How wide is it? How many of us are digitally literate, and how much of us are not digitally literate?
Okay, so most of the digitally skilled citizens or persons largely cut across those in the urban area. So if we have statistics shows that we have about 43% persons in the rural area, and about 56 thereabouts in the urban area. So as it stands now, it means we'll first of all cut off the 43% because those ones are not digital literate. So our focus now is on the urban, those in the urban area. And in the urban area, we now have to talk about interest and availability of the infrastructure that will make persons to be interested in engaging digital skill, or those that have the personal interest in developing that skill. So the number, looking at the over 200 million Nigerians, we should look at least 100 million to be digitally skilled. And when we use the word digitally skilled, it means that they are either engaging in the technology that has been developed by the digital enablers, or they are part of the digital enablers that are developing this technology to be engaged.
Okay, now how many jobs do you think can be created, and how do we scale up?
Well, the jobs that can be created can be enormous, but again, it's largely dependent on the role the digital transformers, which is the government regulators, and the trainers tend to play in it. We need to start looking at the possibility of, one thing I've known is that the digital economy has the possibility and the tendency of holding everybody and sustaining everybody in the country. That includes even the public sector. So the regulators need to ensure that they create that enabling environment, thereby ensuring that we have good startup ecosystem, that we encourage more startups. And when we have more startups, it invariably means that we would have more persons going into it, more persons will be interested in it, there will be more jobs available, and when there are more jobs available, more persons would be interested in going into acquiring this digital skill to fit in this job. And the sad part of creating jobs without having the citizens to occupy them is that because it's a digital skill, so even those from other countries can actually engage, can actually acquire this job. So there is the role the government needs to play to create that ecosystem for startups. There is the role the education institutions needs to play to ensuring that they breathe new good set of persons that will be interested in engaging or participating in the digital age skill.
Okay, now let's talk about the issue of matching the right skills with startups. Where are we in Nigeria?
Well, as most of us already know, they've signed in the startup bill, which is a good one. Mm-hmm. But again, it goes beyond signing in the bill into an act and making it implementable. There is still good numbers of things that we believe both the private sector, the education institutions, and also the regulators would be able to do at this point. First, starting with ensuring that there is a whole lot of curriculum rejuvenation and ensuring that it's not just about, because most persons have always looked at it from the perspective of developing curriculum, but beyond just developing curriculum, it needs to go down to its roots. We need to start with the curriculum should not just be developed at the higher education level or higher institutions level. We need to go as far as ensuring that the primary school curriculum is also redesigned. And how do I mean? For us to be effective in this digital age, we need to start ensuring that our primary school focus purely on soft skill. And soft skill would invariably mean ensuring that they are able to communicate, ensuring that they are able to develop critical thinking skills, they are ensuring that they are able to develop problem-solving skills, creative intelligence skills, and the like. These are soft skills that should be focused basically for primary school students. Then when we go to secondary school students, it's largely should be their curriculum should largely focus on hard skills, and hard skills would mean math skills. Hard skills would be more of like ensuring that they are able to advance their problem-solving skill to the end that they are able to carry out analysis. Then if we go into the third level, which is the higher education, at that point it should focus on professional skills, or what is generally known as technical skills, and that would be geared towards ensuring that they succeed in a particular profession based on the skill that they will acquire in that profession. So redesigning the curriculum should not just end with redesigning only the higher education curriculum, but we should go down to its roots to ensure that we integrate soft skill, hard skill, and technical skill into our curriculum completely.
Okay, talking about, you talked about the curriculum. Well, the thing here is, what role should government play and what role should the private sector play?
Okay, so I know for sure that some government agencies that are education based, they are already looking at redesigning. In fact, some have redesigned some of their curriculum that has to do with IT. For example, the NAPTEP, I know that they are redesigned. They are trying to see how they can split the computer science curriculum into different aspects of computing, because computer science is broad and needs to be specific. It needs to be specialized. So they are splitting it into different aspects. Cybersecurity, one aspect, software development, another aspect, information system, another aspect. So that's one thing I believe the government needs to do. We need to practically divide that computer science curriculum. It's too broad, and it won't be as effective as it should be at that level. We have to see how to pull that. Then secondly, there needs to be place of enabling environment, making sure the infrastructures are there. We need to ensure that we now embed digital skill now as a subject, even at primary school level, secondary school level, and also education, higher institution level. We need to also, the government needs to ensure that people are not just interested in, we probably create something known as University Technology Transfer Office, which tends to ensure that research, we have good numbers of Nigerians that have engaged in research during their projects, or during at the conclusion phase of their high education. So those projects, some of them are good and can be commercialized.
Okay, so, please let me come in. We talked about planning and development of manpower. Now let's talk about utilization of the digital skills and things like that. And recently, and you must agree with me that recently there's this conversation about artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence is reshaping the labor force today. And how do we key in as a nation so that we don't become victims of artificial intelligence, rather we become collaborators of artificial intelligence?
Well, one way we can key into ensuring that we are part of the fourth industrial revolution, which I believe AI is just one aspect of it, because there is Internet of Things, there is AI, there is blockchain and all that. So one way we can key into the fourth industrial revolution is by first ensuring that majority of Nigerians have this digital skill. Also, we need to ensure, like I was trying to mention earlier, we need to ensure that we can, to a large extent, because most Nigerian students now would want to probably do research in line with AI and all these new innovations. But how do we commercialize this research in such a way that it doesn't just end as a product for academic institution, but it ends as a product that can be turned as an idea that can turn into an innovation that will end up to become a product in the market. Okay. So the University Technology Transfer Office can be a good area to focus on, that will also focus on ensuring that we engage prototyping and we are able to carry out licensing, patenting for some of these ideas that we have. Most of Nigerians generally have ideas, but again, most of the ideas at times, they want to move it out of the country because of the patent system that we have here. So we have to ensure that make our patent system right to the end that people are confident with the patent system and are confident that, yes, if I patent my product and my idea in Nigeria, it's probably recognized, that patent number is recognized globally, and it will not be a thing of I patent and someone else picks the idea and patent elsewhere, and theirs will be recognized and ours won't.
Thank you very much, the Rector, HTC Academy, Hanil Hamisu Jafaru. Thank you for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure to be here always.
Now moving on, the need for value reorientation for sustainable growth is the reason the Minister of Information and National Orientation continually solicits increased partnership with change agents. This time, Muhammad Idris, represented at the Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria annual general meeting, is asking all Nigerians to key into the present administration's renewed hope agenda for that required growth.
We therefore need the support of all veritable change agents in the formal, informal, and the private sector to move our great nation in the direction of sustainable growth in all frontiers of our economy. In this direction, we are soliciting for the cooperation of the AAAN in keying into the renewed hope agenda of this administration and support government commitment to the value orientation of citizens. We are forthright in our determination to set this nation on a path of growth. Please join us to
Now to agriculture, the World Bank says it's committed to reposition Nigeria's irrigation farming for sustainable economic development and food security. It announced the commitment when its team on sustainable power and irrigation in Nigeria, transforming irrigation management in Nigeria, spin trimming project officials visited the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsev. He says trimming will strengthen the quality and access to productivity, enhancing and market access services for 130,000 farmers and for rehabilitated irrigation schemes. They are the Bakuluri Irrigation Scheme in Zamfara, Middle Rima Irrigation Scheme in Sokoto State, and Kanu River Irrigation Scheme, and Hadija Valley irrigation scheme in Jigawa. The project provides technical assistance to establish a farmers management center at each of the irrigation schemes. Let's now take a trip to the commodities market. Now to the capital market. Nigerian equities ended the last trading day for the week in negative territory as the all-share index closed trading at 67,324.58 basis points. At the end of Friday's trading session on the exchange, a total of 1.02 billion shares in 6,370 deals valued at 4.35 billion naira were traded. Market capitalization stood at 36.8 trillion naira. Now, Bosede is standing by for global market updates. Bosede, is over to you. Tell us what's happening in the market.
Hello, Musa. Stock markets have endured a volatile week with the European blue chip index dropping 1.3% on Thursday. However, European markets were mixed on Friday. DAX and CAC closed red, while FTSE rose 0.67% at 7,730.11 basis points. Asia markets also closed mixed as the Bank of Japan left its monetary policy unchanged after its latest market concluded on Friday, with some market pairing losses earlier in the day. Hong Kong Hang Seng Index gained 2.28% in its final hour. Mainland Chinese market also advanced, while Japan's Nikkei fell 0.52% at 32,402.41 basis points to close at its lowest level this month at 32,402.41 basis points. U.S. stock futures are mostly red Friday. Futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average dipped 370 points. S&P 500 dipped 1.64%, and the Nasdaq Composite followed suit at 1.82%. Now, African market also closed mixed, with Namibia and South Africa posting gains. Ghana is marginally positive, while Tunisia dipped at 0.08% to close its trading day at 8,573.83. That's the market update for the week. Thank you very much, Musa.
Thank you, Bosede. Well, that's it. Business Express returns Monday at 3 p.m. Thanks for watching.